All right, so I think advertising is completely changing and it's becoming a lot different. And you could see what's actually happening at this moment, particularly. So I want to talk about the Reciprocity Project, right? You can see that I talk a lot and I just want you to sort of participate and be part of this community. And I know it's a really important thing, but I also want you to have a deep desire to make the Reciprocity platform, reciprocity.com. The E is written with a three for people to go on there and actually buy credits. And, um, you know, what is happening there is, I think what's happening is I'm recognizing that advertising is completely different than what it used to be. And it's completely changed a lot, right? So instead of thinking of how do I extract value from you in a one-time deal, right? And that's the goal, right? So um, one thing I could do is sort of and I did these sort of advertising model, the Google Ads model, and all that kind of stuff, and it works. It definitely gets people to go on to things or get them to do things, but um, it doesn't. And I had this realization after I was struggling with it of like trying to figure out how to get this to really work. It doesn't build community and it doesn't build a sense of you getting to know who I am and what I'm actually doing and what it's about. And it doesn't tell anything there. If you think of any large company today um, that that has longevity, not the ones that you sort of sprout up and that don't they don't last for long or whatnot, but ones that have been around for a long time, they almost all have a sense of community behind them. Like Lululemon, for example, right? Like you go to the store because you're part of this sort of greater community within the particular store, right? You think of any, I don't know, like there's some that are just more commodities based, right? Like you might think of Shell Oil. And so that's not going to be the same feeling, but they try to build that feeling of community, right? Almost everything today that has longevity has a sense of community behind it, and they kind of people understand what it's about. And so, yes, I would love for you to actually go on and buy credits on the Reciprocity platform because a it sort of helps out build the platform. And it sort of shows me what I'm on the right path or not on the right path, and all of those kind of things. But on the other side, you need to be inclined. You need to feel like, hey, I've actually been part of this community. I realize that I have been sort of sitting around on the opposite side and sort of benefiting from this community rather than, doing anything from it. But here's the thing. You need to build that community. You need to feel like you're part of something. You need to feel like I'm actually getting something out of that. And that takes a great deal of time and effort. And it doesn't happen it's not a quick process, right? So that's the thing that is different that I'm sort of recognizing is that it's a different process, right? I want you to get to know me, and I don't want you to feel like, oh, this guy's slimy and gonna do something, or any. I want you to actually not only get to know me, but I want you to benefit, and if I could find ways to benefit you in so many different ways. I have talked in so many different ways, came at so many different angles. Um, that I want you to understand that. Now, that's the thing is that, so it's like a flywheel, right? That sort of community function. And, the flywheel is like this big metal wheel or big stone wheel that once you get it going, it doesn't really stop. And that's kind of the story behind this, right? So if you can imagine if you're doing a business thing or whatnot too, imagine how you can create a flywheel and have people that are part of the flywheel, right? Like being like they're part of it, right? And that's the thing. Like you can't build something if nobody is there, right? And nobody really wants to participate. They don't care. So you want to actually you need that community first. You need people to actually care and be part of something and get it. And and know that they're not getting duped. And, you know, I'm going to make all of my effort to help you out and figure out ways that I mean, to the best of my ability, there's a lot of ways I can. One-on-one sessions and things like that, that is not feasible. That's not viable. That's just, it's not scalable. But if I can build community to encourage you to get going, to be, do something, to just just be a better you, whatever that looks like for you. I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to do that every day. And so you feel better. And if you choose, if you would like, you can go and buy credits on there. You can sign on to the Reciprocity platform. The E is written with a 3. Um, but if you don't choose to, that's fine as well. And I think that this model is completely changing, right? And it's been around. And if you look at the companies that have had longevity, they've all sort of employed this kind of model, other than having some sort of artificial, reason why they actually exist. But most companies have this kind of model where you're getting a tremendous amount of value. You feel comfortable doing it um, before you actually go and sort of expend your resources, right? So everything is set up that way. And if you can kind of realize that, um, you'll benefit from it, right? So I don't want you to do anything that's dicey. I don't want you to sort of make silly choices. And I want you to benefit. And if I can get, so here's the thing, right? Um, if I can get in 10 years, I've got 5,000 people to benefit. Well, and they really benefit and they love it and all that kind of stuff. They just love what they're about. That's my car. My kids put on the Santa mode. Um, so if you really, love the sort of message and all those kind of things, in 10 years, those 5,000 people are going to tell a lot of other people, right? Or they're going to have a positive affect towards it, like all those kind of things, right? That is very much a real important part of doing business. And we need to recognize that is not necessarily just about um, extracting value. I think that's silly to think like that. But anyways, I think advertising is completely changing and we need to recognize that. We need to be part of a new generation and what it means. And that's what I'm doing here. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.